And in this case, I want to make an analogy saying that it's like you're in a mine and you're taking out all these very big chunks of ores. And with this, you're going to build your thesis eventually. And I mean, we all know how to read. It sounds very banal, but that's the thing, we just need to read. That's one of the things you have to do to start off with a thesis. And of course, everybody can do this. Second, it's more like postdoctoral research. I'm not sure who has to do this, but that could be a second part. It's the research analysis. This is more improvisation because I don't know how this actually exactly should work. So it's like just conducting interviews and processing your findings. I'm going over this very quickly in this part because I have no expertise in this field. Next part, writing. This will come directly from your reading. You will put it down. Or it comes from your research. And the thing is that from what you read, when you are collecting all this information, all this data, how can I say that? It's very easy to just reproduce it. Just reading it down, just writing it down, even if it doesn't make any sense at the start, just try to get something down. I would like to analyze that it's like you try to already roughly cut out these ore, the small diamonds you can say, but it's still very rough. And then the last part is the rewriting and rereading and rewriting, and this is the process where you polish the diamonds. Because then you go over again what you already wrote down and look into inconsistencies, look into things that might need some editing or whatever. So just reread what you wrote. Of course, reading is what you can do very easily, and then just rewrite it when you feel like it can, when it improves or makes the diamond more polished. To give an idea, for a literature study, I spend 50% of my time reading. I spent 15, like 1/5, on writing, and about 35% of my time was rereading. And I hope is it clear what I try to say with this? It's just very easy steps to write a thesis in this case. Maybe oversimplifying it, but it's just you either read, with literature, you either write or you either rewrite. And just remind yourself of these core things you have to do, and then you'll eventually end up with a nice polished thesis. Okay, now the important part, how to enjoy this entire writing process. Are we still here all? Because usually I'm very long with talking and everything, but I see not, so that's good. Okay, first thing to do, oh yeah, actually it's this introduction part. Yes, so how to enjoy the writing your thesis part. You start off with a to-do list. Some people already use it, very good, keep going with this. And why do you use it? Why do you use a to-do list? It's to counter the chaos, because again, it feels like you have all these things to do, but when you write it down on a very, actually this is mine, it's very small, I got it from Korea. But if you just write it down very systematically, and also I usually categorize, like, sometimes you have to do some social things on Facebook, or write it down, maybe you have to read some text, or write that down as well. Just that it becomes graspable, and it becomes, again, you reduce it to these very, like I said, graspable actions that are required. Also, very important, it's something from being led by the outside. Sometimes we're very tempted to, like you feel like, okay, I'm gonna sit down for 2 hours writing my thesis or doing some homework, and then somebody passes you by and be like, oh hey, can you help me with this and that? It's very hard to, well, how can I say that? You should be able to, if you feel like you want to do it or you should do it, you should be able to park this thing. Just put it on your to-do list. It's not in your mind anymore that it's there, but you don't have to act upon it. You can just act upon your thesis again. And also from the outside, I also refer to like having emails or Facebook messages. These are all distractions, but if you are saying to yourself, and take yourself serious in this case, and have the priority of having a thesis first, then you can keep those things for later or for a more appropriate time. And a to-do list, I think it's so important that it's sometimes maybe the only thing you have to do in a day, because I'll be coming in that later. It's about taking your time as well. So this will be our first homework for people who are here. Today, your only thing you have to do is make a to-do list. about your thesis. So you, and you maybe for your first year classes, I guess. All of you are going to write a to-do list today. Yes, very easy. It's the only thing you do for the thesis today. That's all I'm asking of you. All you have to ask of yourself. And then already from this, you should be able to move into this creative process. Okay, one savior for me was the career day last year because it was a time management workshop. I think this year the career day on the 1st of March has a stress management workshop, I believe. Who is going to the career day? You already understand it? Good. The ones who are not going, go. Do yourself a favor. I think the career day is a really great opportunity to get some more skills and more tools to just enjoy it more. Because if you know better how to do it, then it becomes easier and it becomes more enjoyable, and you do it better, and then you get more of what you need. Yeah, another homework part is here, make a study group. Of course, we all would like to believe we're very independent, very productive people, but in the end, I also experienced it many, many times. Sometimes you just don't feel like going out of bed, and you know, you only have like 2 courses per week, so you feel like you have your own time to plan it. And if you can plan it yourself, then we're tempted to maybe not always get the best out of ourselves. But having somebody saying like, okay, we're gonna meet up tomorrow at 11, and then you are mutually forcing each other to be there at 11 or do something. So I would say you need a study buddy. It will help you a lot, and you can help each other, and maybe become best friends for the rest of your life because you're helping each other. So, who wants to be study buddies of each other? I see Sasha and Marianne.
Yeah, of course.
Do you have the same major?
Yeah, we do actually.
Okay, that's perfect. So, when are you going to meet for the first time? Tomorrow at 11?
No.
Okay, but for now, I'm going to remind you of this because I'll see you many more times. You're going to motivate each other to get this done. All people who are back home. Yes? Get a study buddy. Maybe you're watching this together with somebody. You're going to get yourself through it, both of you, motivating each other. I see 2 first years. I think it's very easy. But I'm not sure what kind of big projects you're having coming up right now.
Oh, no, not many.
Not many, okay.
More
Still,
exams this semester.
if you want to make it easy and enjoyable, get a study buddy. It's really, really great. And also something which some people don't think about is that give yourself some rewards. I mean, what you can say to yourself is that, okay, if I read this text for tonight, or maybe write down X amount of words, then, you know, I deserve a reward. And you do, because you did something great. So I think this should be rewarded, and that's something you have to do for yourself. Or maybe your study buddy can say like, hey, if you get so much words done, I'll do some dinner for tonight, or etc. Just that you start to link this maybe big, difficult project, that it becomes something you just enjoy doing. And some examples are some Ben & Jerry's. For me, what I did was at the end of the day, at Albert Heijn, they have like 30% discount on the muffins and all the very tasty candy stuff. So I just said, okay, if I got this done today, then I'll get a very nice muffin or whatever. And also, what we'll go into later is when you see how the day is built up, or a good study day is built up, you also can reward yourself just in the evening. Say, okay, I did enough this day, I just watch a movie, or I'll just visit some friends, or whatever. Just make it enjoyable. And there's also one thing I have to remind again, is that you're able to do this because you take yourself serious. Because you tell yourself, I'm worth it to make something good out of it, and because of this, I can reward myself. I can do these things, and that's what's important to remember. Oh yeah, very simple, pick an environment which is not too comfortable. In my case, I was in Goosen's building. It's next to Koopmans, it's like in between Koopmans and then the street in Aurana. It's like next to it's in the Starbucks building right now. It's because it's not as crowded as the library, which for me feels like, oh, I have to study, oh, there's so much stress. Goosen's is a bit more relaxed. Also what I did was I sometimes sat in a cafe, I don't feel like advertising, but Bagels and Beans was really great to go to sometimes, to just have a coffee, you know, just have a good place, and then like, yeah, it's nice, and then just do some reading, and you know, just that's comfortable. It don't feel like this world is pushing upon you. Be like, study, 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 study. No, just you need to study, but do it in a way you feel comfortable with. And of course, not too comfortable. I mean, like maybe your couch or whatever that you don't feel like. You feel like more like just relaxing. I'll do a bit of that, a bit of that. It should be one way. You should feel. It should not be stress-inducing, like for example, what for me the library was, and also should not be demotivating for working. But I guess it's all unique for every person in this room, so you have to find your own place. I should be a bit clearer about this one. I say don't set harsh deadlines, like what I did with the to-do list, because then everything becomes a bonus. It's the same idea with the reward system. It's just that, for me it was you just have to get into it first, and then once you got started, then things start rolling. So if you start a day with, I have to read 2 texts, I have to write 2,000 words, then it's like, it's so much, I don't think I can do it, work. This doesn't work. If you just say, okay, today I want to do 1 text, and then maybe write a bit about it. Then you start reading, and then you start working with it, and it's like, yeah, I'm in the flow, you know. And then you're like, maybe I can do another text, because, well, if you got the topic right, then it's something you're already interested about, and something you would like to know more about. So I hope that you get into this positive vibe. I think this is the most important thing. Maybe, I'm not sure if it's not going to be here. It's something I had to talk before about. But what happened for me, for example, was that for one weekend, I did have a deadline for my thesis, that I needed to finish one part of 3 big parts. And just on Saturday, I was so stressed, like, I have to write so much, and I just was postponing it, like, I was escaping from, I don't want to work on it because it just shows me how bad I am. But the next day I was like, okay, what I did yesterday doesn't work. I was too stressed, I was with my head everywhere. What I'll do, I won't start writing my thesis until I feel comfortable. So I actually took the time until 4, I think it was, till 4 in the afternoon to just get out of bed, just get a tea, just enjoying, okay, I'll just take a bit more time for myself, just cycling around a bit, and just really getting some fresh air, and to be like, getting really comfortable. And also what it was, the days before I did read a lot, but I just didn't write it down yet. And then when I was in this very comfortable state of mind, I was like, yeah, I can do it. So I wrote, in the end, the evening and the morning after that, in total of 4,000 words, just because I was there, confident, just blaring out all the things I read about. So that's like, how can I say that? It's just like the first reading part I had done, but then this writing part is actually very easy once you read very well. And it's just that, it's just, you shouldn't link stress with your feet. I'm telling you that 1,000 times, it's just important to do this. Also one important thing, take healthy breaks. With healthy, I mean don't go to Facebook or check your email or whatever, because this means you get all these new impulses and all these new things that probably has to go on your to-do list, or maybe you feel tempted to just go into this instead of writing your thesis. When I say healthy breaks, for me what it was to just go for healthy walks. Who recognizes this picture? Where could it be?
Forest?
It's here, the Veranda Forest it's called, right? Yeah, so I think I saw every outskirt of this forest, because, like I said, when I was in Goosen's building, it was like, it's time for a break, I'll just put it on standby, and I just walk straight into the forest for 15-20 minutes. And what it does when you're walking, or having like this little walk, you get your mind entirely off the thesis usually, or in your back of your mind things are processing. I think it's even scientifically proven that if you allow your brain to just not be focused on one thing, that actually the background processes give some knowledge pieces their right place, so then when you come back with it, it suddenly makes more sense and you can do more with it. More things you can think about, just go out, have some fruit, some healthy, like I said, again, healthy things to get through yourself. Or just change the environment for a certain while. It's just that as a human being, you're not built to do the same thing hours and hours straight. So keep that in mind and do it like that. So as a reminder, as a break, don't go on the internet. It's really, maybe people try to say that, oh, but that's how I relax. No, you don't relax. Really, I don't think there's any way you can relax, just having all these new information being thrown at your face. Yeah, some very simple things. I think I'm almost at the end. So another way to just look into how a thesis working day would look like. For example, get up at 9, make your way to the campus at 10. Then at 10:15, if you arrive, just take a nice spot and start your to-do list at the day. Just think about what you're going to do the entire day. Take your time with this, like 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, just to get yourself comfortable. Then for the first work session, I put here 1 hour. It's very arbitrary what I wrote down, but it's just that it's important to give yourself like 1 hour of working, then 15 minutes as a break or 20 minutes. Again, 1 hour or 45 minutes working, lunch break. Just, it should be very system. Like, you get your own rhythm with it, because every person is unique. But it's just that, because some people, they feel like they only work when they work like 4 hours